Build the grip.
Dear Lord Jesus Christ.
All right. Focus. Prep, prep, prep. Yep, safety's off. Good. And easy squeeze.
Oh my God.
We're good.
There you go.
And you hit dead center.
I did?
You hit dead center, yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, good. So breathe. Finger off the trigger. Look where you hit.
Oh my gosh.
Which one did you hit?
Right in the middle.
Like that one?
Yeah.
The second one?
Right in the second one.
I want to zoom it in.
Good work. Okay.
Okay.
Did it fly out of your hand? Did it fly out?
No.
No. Did it hurt anybody?
No.
No. You're good?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm shaking.
I know. It's because you have some adrenaline. Hey, good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I know.
That was good.
Good
Thank you.
Okay. And we're going to do more.
Okay.
Okay. But take a second, breathe, get a drink of water. Remember, your pistol's loaded.
Okay.
Okay. Which is fine. Just leave it in the holster.
Okay.
All right. Hey, good work.
Thank you.
Good work. Yeah. And ducked it in. That's what I like.
Kind of take it back to a couple months ago at GrowthCon, where I met you and Allie, and we hung out and talked about guns. You guys found out that what I do, and you were not at all interested in guns at all.
No.
Tell me why.
I hated it because guns to me was equal death.
Guns equal death.
Yes.
Fast forward
Yes.
now, like
Yes.
3 months. Guns equal what?
Power and confidence. It was like, to me, was like I graduated from something. In my life, what I teach myself every time, if I fail in something, or I have to finish something to feel like I've done something. But gun wasn't even a thing for me to finish it and graduate from.
Yeah.
Like motherhood or being a mother for me is I have to finish my job, or I have to graduate from. Or being a wife is like I have to graduate from. Not in a bad way,
Right.
in a good way, because I want to give my 100% in everything. And I want to be like the best student in everything in life, because to me, life every day is a lesson.
Yeah.
But gun was a bad lesson. I didn't want to have it. I didn't want to take it. I didn't want to graduate from. I didn't want to have anything to do with it, because it was nothing to graduate from. It was what I said. Gun was equal death, or it was equal death. It was no point for me to do it.
So where do you think that came from, as far as your foundational? Because when we first talked, your foundational belief of guns was absolutely hands off. I don't want anything to do with it whatsoever.
Yes.
And then we had a conversation.
Yes, and I also told you that, like, I have 2 daughters and 1 son, and he was not allowed to have a toy gun at all till last year. I bought him a Nerf gun. That was it. And I taught all my kids that guns are bad.
Right.
And if you have a friend that has anything to do with guns, that person is not your friend. So we're not going to have anything to do with that friend or that person.
And where did that foundational belief come from? Where did you start with that?
I was a kid that grew up in war.
Yeah.
Like when I was 4 years old, going to kindergarten, and when that war started between 2 countries, and
death's brought into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me, like, talking about it. Like, I don't tell this story a lot, but seeing my best friend that I play with every day being blown up by bombs, or, innocent kids dying. Yeah. I didn't want to have anything to do with that. And just seeing her mom coming to pick her up, not finding her, and her going crazy.
Yeah.
Moving away the whatever was destroyed just to find her child, and she couldn't find it, and she only found like a piece of clothing of her, and that's all she could have, that's still in my mind and plays. So every time I see a gun, that comes back.
Through our conversation, right? Yeah. And we talked a lot about this leading up to it.
Yeah.
There was the fear aspect.
Yeah.
Huge, not even necessarily fear, definitely some fear involved, but a lot of trauma too.
Mm-hmm.
And through this weekend, like you've been, first of all, absolutely incredible. And
Thank
your
you.
Perseverance and desire to grow, which has been nothing but inspirational to myself and to everyone else that's here. It's life-changing for me, and I know it's been life-changing for you.
Yes.
On day one, the first time, like I know you were so nervous.
Yes.
We talked about this leading up to it. Allie and I talked about this, and like a lot of the questions that you had. I
was even scared to touch a bullet. Like I thought every second it would blow up.
Yeah.
Like I handled it like I was handling a bomb.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? What's gonna happen?
So when you first decided, okay, we're gonna do this, were you like, when we decided this event was gonna happen, were you, I'm going to do this, or were you still not sure?
Yes. Yes. Even when I woke up in the morning, I was just like constantly talking to myself, okay, why did you decide to do this? Like, are you crazy?
Did you have an answer for that?
No. Okay. And something else you need to know about me, because the way I grew up, I don't have many friends because I don't like to be close to people to lose them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't trust a lot of people, and maybe because I'm a control freak, I don't know, but I like to control everything that is in my life and plan.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to be inside my own head and plan for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone else is planning for me, it's not going to work. So I don't know how you did it. I really don't know, because I don't have an answer. You can ask my husband. That person, like, if it was someone else beside you, this person had to prove himself to me over and over and over again for me to be able to trust that person, just to tell you, okay, here's my life, in your hand, and I'm going to trust you with that. Keeping in mind me being like in love with my children, and I'm like, okay, if anything happens to me, how are they going to survive in this world? So like that was a big deal for me, to give my trust in your hand, or putting my trust in your hand and say, okay, I trust you and you're going to take me to the next step.
Well, first of all, it's just, like, to me, that's a huge honor. I told you that earlier.
Thank you. I'm like shaking right now.
Tell.
I'm just like so nervous talking about it.
But it's a huge step in life. Like, and I truly appreciate the trust that you gave to me. And we had fun. Yeah. And you made progress.
It was not just about having fun. It was a life lesson for me again. Yeah. How I say, like, every person that comes through your life is a story chapter in your book.
Yeah.
And you are a chapter in my life. And you can ask that my husband, you can ask that my kids, they are going to tell you, like, what did you do to our mother? Seriously. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what I did.
I knew, like, every time, I mean, even choosing my gun, I was like, I trusted you so much. I was like, which gun would you think is best for me to pick up? Again, I went through so many things. And fighting with that fear, believe it or not, in my head, every time I was fighting that fear, I was fighting with every single bad thing that happened prior, from whatever age till now.
Yeah.
So every time I chose my target, I was putting away a bad memory. So it was learning, and it was overcoming my fears and learning to trust someone else. It was better than going to therapy and talking to a therapist and say, okay, you know, I have this problem and I have this problem. So every target I put that red light on, I was shooting a bad memory, believe it or not. And I have a lot of those.
Okay, so now there was a shift. There was an absolutely distinct shift from day one, where it was, I could see lots of fear, lots of working through your own personal, and we take that one step at a time, right?
Yeah.
There was a shift though last night, because last night we went from working through fear and trauma and fighting every ounce of your internal self to work through this process to, at one point, you were shooting the stuff long range at night and you got excited. There was a moment that you got excited that I was like, something just changed.
Yes. And the rifle for me was like, you can be a kid and be in a war and you still can survive. And the rifle was, for me, it's a bigger step. You survived the smaller place that you were in. The pistol. So you survived the pistol and you picked up the rifle. So
and you didn't want to shoot the rifle. You were done.
I was done. I was done with the pistol.
I know.
But
you did so good.
Yeah, and you were like keep telling me, and I was like, every time, like literally, I was crying inside, and no one could see it. Just like right now, just like right now, I'm like so shaking from either is it happiness or I'm like nervous. I don't know what it is.
It's energy. It's just energy.
Whatever it is.
It's however you direct it,
Whatever it is. And when I picked up that rifle, I was like, okay, you know, it's a bigger step, and you picked it up. You graduated from pistol.
There's your graduation again.
There was my graduation right there. And I'm like, okay, if I could graduate from that, and if I could graduate not crying, I can pick this up. And when I picked it up, it was like something like, oh, I'm in college now.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then when I started shooting, I'm like, that feels amazing. Now I want to go to university.
Okay.
You know.
And so then we came out here and we went to university shooting longer targets.
Yes.
And steel. And you could hear it ring.
Yes.
And then today, tell me about today. So today was the second day of the course.
Yes.
Tell me about what you experienced waking up today, what you thought about yesterday.
I was excited. I was so excited to go there and show myself, not anyone else. Yep. Not timing didn't matter. How many targets I can shoot didn't matter. It mattered. I graduated. I can pick it up, and I don't have a fear. I'm not scared of it. I'm not crying, but I'm like excited about it to pick it up and say, hey, look, it's you. Yeah. Like talking to me and saying, hey, it's you, and you've done it, and you put so much behind you that maybe it just like to a lot of people is not a big thing, but to me it was like huge.
No, it's huge. There's so many people out there that have traumas and fears and issues that they have to face that either aren't willing to do it or haven't been given the opportunity to do it in a safe way.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful that you guys are here. I'm so thankful that we can work through some of this, and like even watching you go from the same fear base, not as extreme and not as like deep, but the same basis, and then go to where you were, I couldn't even get you off of a gun, right? Yeah. Like it was so much fun. That's so much fun for me. So outside of all of the video stuff, that's what's like fires me up. And like I make a living at this, but that's not why I do this. I do this because I love it.
Yeah.
Right. And when we can do stuff we love and make a living at it, then it's even better. But truly, like, the reason why I do it is because of the people. And like, I love doing this. I love shooting, and I love bringing other people in to shoot. And it's not often that I get to work with somebody that's really fearful, but I love doing that because when I can see the switch flip, it makes me super excited. Yeah. So today we switched to flip the switch a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And when you walked up to me and you're like, Joe, which rifle do I pick? I'm like, that one. And you grabbed it and you just walked out and you're like, let's shoot. Yeah. I'm like, all right, let's shoot. Yeah. Like, that fires me up. And when you were shooting today, there was definitely difference, because yesterday it was like, we'll shoot 3 rounds and then we're done.
Yeah.
And then today, the first time you walked up, you shot 30 rounds. You're like,
yeah,
burned it down.
I was even scared of the sound. Mm-hmm. Like, Ali was shooting next to me, and I was so terrified that she had to stop him.
Yeah.
At one point, and I'm like, and something else I was telling myself constantly, I was telling myself that I was saying, okay, you're a mom, mm-hmm. and if you want to be truthful to your kids, telling them, don't have fear of anything, mm-hmm. do whatever you love, fight with everything that, ever hurt you or everything. If you're telling them all the time to do this, if you don't do that yourself, doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of pressure. It's self-induced pressure, right?
So I had to repeat my voice over and over in my head, mm-hmm. and be the mother that I am to my kids, be the mother to myself, mm-hmm. and say, do this, overcome it, and graduate from it.
You're a strong mother. It's freaking amazing. And the fact that you took that and spun it around on yourself is incredibly admirable. So then today we shot pistols, we shot rifles. We shot
my favorite rifle.
Oh, you love the rifle.
I love the rifle. Yeah.
You shot on the move. Mm-hmm. You shot moving targets.
Yeah.
You shot long range targets.
Yeah.
What was the most fun for you?
It's so big that I cannot put it in words. So it's about feelings, is about my mind, is about my spirit, is about my body, is about everything. So putting that in a word, no. I cannot tell you, I cannot finish it in one sentence. Mm-hmm.
And it's not necessary.
It's everything. It's all around.
Yeah.
It's all around.
What do we do next? I know we want to do some long range shooting.
I love to do. I'm already planning, and I'm like little child now. Instead of running away from it, I'm like, Ali, when can we do it? When can we do it? And he's like, whenever you want, babe. Whenever you want. I'm like, as soon as possible. Yeah. Can we do that now? Can we do that next week? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. And I think in his mind, he's like, is that the same person?
Is it the same person? Did we graduate? Oh yeah, we graduated. That's awesome. So now we got to figure out when we're going to shoot next. We're going to go do some more fun things and make some new
And this
steps.
time I'm going to involve my children.
Awesome.
Because it was me that taught them that gun is mm-hmm. bad. So it's my job to tell them, no, it's going to give you power. It's going to, you can use it in a bad way and a good way. Yeah. So choose to use it in a good way, mm-hmm. to empower yourself.
Because ignoring the fact that the guns are used for bad things is not right either. Obviously they're used for bad things, but so are knives and cars and
everything
alcohol else. and yes. everything can be used for a bad thing, right?
Yes.
So obviously there's a lot of controversy around guns in general, but there are certainly lawful ways to use them in a way that is impactful on a personal level, and then also, you know, for me, I find great joy. Like I truly love shooting. Like I have so much fun doing it.
Yeah.
And I love bringing other people into it and seeing people enjoy that as well.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a fear thing. A lot of people come into it with a fear thing initially, and then they leave finding joy. And like that's what's
gonna happen, I guess, next time. Instead of me being the teacher, telling myself what to do, what not to do. Okay, that's your lesson, that's your lesson, that's your lesson. I'm gonna say, okay, enjoy it now, enjoy it now, enjoy it now. So
even tonight when we were doing stuff with Elisa, when you were both shooting at the same time, like
I loved it. I loved it. It's just
I could tell, yeah.
It was not just like our body. It was like we were just
mental,
talking to each other. Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, we missed it at the same time. We hit it at the same time. It was like so amazing. And I'm like, how does that work? It's just like, are we like talking?
Telecommunication,
Yes. So it was amazing.
That's so much fun. Well, at the end of the day, I'm so thankful that you guys came out. I'm so thankful that we got to have this opportunity. I'm so thankful that you trusted me. Like,
so thankful for being you.
Thank you. I truly am glad that we can make this happen. And I'm also thankful that you would share your story.
I appreciate
because
that.
That's a big deal.
Thank you. And not just to say that